Hey, all you comic book readers and true believers, it's Tuesday, and I'm your ever-loving blue-eyed comic book guy, Mitch Harmon. You guys know what's up. Mitch's Picks. From Dark Horse Comics, Skull Digger and Skeleton Boy, #1, written by Jeff Lemire, art done by Tansy Zonjic. This is spinning out of the Black Hammer universe. For those of you who've not been following, the Black Hammer universe is about a bunch of, well, it's actually set in a kind of a superhero world where superheroes were kind of not seen important anymore, kind of put underground, so to speak, but then people start to realize the importance of them. The books, there's a lot of them. There's very expansive, and this is just one more into the whole repertoire of the Black Hammer stuff. Skull Digger is a bit of a vigilante, kind of almost in a Batman-esque type of way, and he saves this one kid, not his parents though, from crime alley type of murder, I guess you could say, and he adopts this kid, sort of in a way, kind of training him to be his own sidekick. But this is not a Batman and Robin type of thing. This kid is a narrator, and he does not seem to have very fond memories of Skull Digger. So despite him going with him in this beginning, he's still got quite a bit way to go, I guess you could say, and maybe some trust is lost along the way. This does tie in, like I said, to the main series of Black Hammer. Grim Jim is in it. He's shown up in some previous issues as well. Also, the touches on base where superheroes are now coming back out. They are talking about their past and finding out that mayors and senators and so on and so forth are part of this superhero community, I guess you could say. But really good stuff. Wonderful art, nice gritty look to it, and it's written by Jeff Lemire, guys. It's got to be good. Check it out. From Marvel Comics, Star Wars Empire Ascendant, one-shot, written by Greg Pak, Charles Soule, many different people with many different artists. This is actually just a one-shot. This contains 4 short stories, all taking place during the events of Empire Strikes Back. For those of you who have been following the Star Wars stuff, you know 75 was the most recent issue and is the last of that gap in between A New Hope and Empire. And the new series that starts up in January is supposed to be taking place in the events between Empire and Return of the Jedi. This one just kind of peppers in a little bit of the story of the events that happened in Empire. A story about Poe Dameron's parents, a story about some elite group of Death Troopers, a little bit of a story about Dr. Aphra, and a little bit about the story about the most recent bounty hunter that's been introduced in Target Vader. I can't remember his name, Valarna? Can't exactly remember, but each story starts the story, I guess you say, of the 4 new books that are coming out, which is the Dr. Aphra, a Bounty Hunters book, a Darth Vader book, and of course the actual Star Wars book itself. Like I said, not necessary for the continuation of the story, but if you'd like to have a little bit of prequel stuff, a little bit of prequel to the actual new ongoing series, and also just like to get a little bit more expanse of the Star Wars universe, this one's definitely for you guys. Check it out. From Marvel Comics, Revenge of the Cosmic Ghost Rider, #1, written by Dennis Hopeless Hallam, art done by Scott Hepburn. This is a new miniseries coming out of Marvel Comics. In the true fashion of all the Cosmic Ghost Rider stuff, it is another miniseries. But this one, Cosmic Ghost Rider, he has been a spirit of vengeance. He has been a herald of Galactus. He has been Thanos' right-hand man. He's been an Avenger. He's been a lot of things. He's even was in a race. He even got drugged back to Hell to enter into a race to see who was going to be the new ruler of Hell. He's done a lot of things in a short amount of time that he's been around. But he's back to doing what he loves doing best. Punishing the wicked. Because let's face it, he is Frank Castle. He was the Punisher originally, first time around. And this one he's now spreading not just from Earth, but he's trying to reach out into the intergalactic community as well, going as far as even getting himself arrested to put into a maximum security Shi'ar prison, only so he can be right next to all these villains and whatnot, so he can punish them the way he knows best. Now with the penance there, it makes it a little easier as well. But being in a Shi'ar maximum security prison, sometimes you unleash things that you probably shouldn't be unleashing back into the universe, I guess you could say. Also, he comes across a very interesting character she was running around with a bunch of pirates, and all these rest of these pirates seem to be pretty awful, except for her. She was an innocent, so he saved her. So I don't know if she's going to have tie-ins to more of this Cosmic Ghost Rider stuff. She is from Earth, though, so she has origins on Earth. Needless to say. Like I said, this is a mini-series, only going to be 5 issues. Plus, at the back of this issue, and I'm hoping they can kind of continue this, there's a little short story done by Donny Cates, who created the character along with Jeff Shaw. It's only a couple pages, but it's interesting enough. It's modern-day Punisher meeting Cosmic Ghost Rider. Punisher and kind of having an exchange. And I'd like to see where this story kind of goes to. Plus, but also the Dennis Hallam story has been really good, guys. Interested to see where this goes. Check it out. From DC Comics, Year of the Villain, Hell Arisen, #1. Written by James Tynion IV, art done by Steve Epting. This is a new miniseries coming out of DC Comics, only going to be 4 issues. This actually ties into the Justice League stuff and the Batman and Superman stuff. Mostly Justice League, basically Perpetua. She's the kind of an elder god, I guess you could say. Trying to destroy the multiverses, but she was defeated in the Justice League book, only to be revitalized by Lex Luthor in hopes that he can be her herald, her steward. I don't know. He wants to basically help her destroy the multiverse so that he is the kind of the only one that's left. But tying into the Batman Superman stuff, the man who laughs Batman is, well, he's a bit of a chaos agent, and he's willing to go against Lex Luthor, even if it means having to fight against elder gods and whatnot. But her powers only work on the multiverse, not the dark multiverse, which is where he's from, and all of his infected are also infected with dark multiverse Joker venom as well as nth metal. So I'm assuming they can't be affected by that Perpetua's multiverse elder god powers as well. So basically, it's boiling down to Alpha Lex Luthor versus the man who laughs Batman and his infected Goonies, I guess you could say. Basically, all the Year of the Villain and the Justice League Doom War kind of concludes into this whole story. Not really sure if this is the end of the Year of the Villain, but this is definitely a kickoff point, kind of a cataclysm for anything that's coming on later on. Plus, it's just got a bunch of evil versions of superheroes. Kind of a good story, guys. Check it out. From DC Comics Black Label, Wonder Woman Dead Earth, #1. Written and drawn by Daniel Warren Johnson. This is the new Black Label series coming out of DC Comics. Only going to be 4 issues, magazine size as well, but this is a pretty rad story, you all. Daniel Warren Johnson, he is the creator of Murder Falcon, Extremity. He's done some work on some other books as well, but mostly known for Murder Falcon and Extremity. And kind of got this like gritty, almost like metal type of look to his art and his writing, and this is no different. Diana wakes up, we can only assume hundreds of years into the future, to almost a barren wasteland, almost like there's some type of nuclear winter that had happened, or she's just kind of confused because last she knew that she was just on Earth and everything was hunky-dory until she wakes up in this glass tube underground, confronted by these survivors who were just looking for scraps and whatnot, having to fight off against a Hydra, I think is what they called it, some type of mutated monster from the wasteland. But Wonder Woman is slowly kind of piecing together exactly what happened, but even the survivors aren't really sure about exactly how the world got to this place. All they know is that their grandparents referred to it as the Great Fire that basically just cleansed the entire land. They assume it's some type of nuclear warfare, but the details aren't clear. All we do know is that Diana is the only hero that seems to be left alive. Her powers aren't exactly working, and her gauntlets are gone as well. Which, if you've been following the Wonder Woman stuff, it would make you think that she should be more powerful since her gauntlets aren't there. But anyways, we might be talking about George Perez and Marv Wolfman in Wonder Woman in this one. I don't know, but it's a rad story, really good art, and it's part of that Black Label series stuff, so it's only going to be a really limited series, only 4 issues, guys. But for the 4 issues, for the first issue that just came out, I was very, very impressed with this, guys. Check it out. That's all my picks for this week, everyone. Don't forget, this Saturday, we're going to have our nerd yard sale in the back. It's going to be all day long from when we open to when we close. We're going to have, I think it's just going to be me, Hunter, and Brian having some stuff in the back. But we might, if this does well, maybe do a little bit more often. Who knows? But that's going to be going on all day, guys. So please come in on Saturday and check us out, see what we got out here. Like I said, that's all my picks for this week, everyone. Keep reading your comics, true believers. See you guys next week.